In this video, I'd like to demonstrate how I'm using WeBWorK for quiz management alongside homework management and using the grade passback feature on quizzes. I'm here in my D2L shell as myself, not as an actual student. I have two WeBWorK courses. You can see that if I go to Course Admin, examine my external learning tools, I have one course, Math 252, Alex Jordan 2020-102. That's my homework course. I have a separate course for quizzes and exams where I've tacked on assessment to the course identifier. And I have external learning tool links for each quiz in the course. When you set up these external learning tools for quizzes, the format is to use the course name as you would with a homework link, but then you need to tack on quiz mode and give the specific name of the quiz that you're targeting to. So I have each of these links, and in the assessment course right now, I'm logged in as admin and there is no alex.jordan account. I've deleted that user. I've also temporarily changed things so that when I go back to D2L and I follow one of these quiz links, it's going to treat me like a student, not like the instructor. So here in Module 1, I have a link to Quiz 1. And remember, at this point, I do not have an alex.jordan account in the assessment WeBWorK course. So the first time any student follows any one of these links, that initializes their account in the WeBWorK course. So here we go. I'm going to click this, and I've been put into this quiz. You can see my 90-minute timer I've set is there. I would answer these questions. I'm just going to give one quick answer and not really pay attention to the rest of it. I will grade this test, submit it. I've got it set to actually reveal to the student what happened. Use the breadcrumb navigation to return to higher up in the WeBWorK assessment course. This is what I see. So at this point, I have followed the D2L link to Quiz 1, and so I have the option to start another version of Quiz 1, or I have the option to continue the version that I currently am working on. You could configure the quiz so that you're not allowed to start a new version. But what's more important is that Quiz 2, Quiz 3, Quiz 4, I am not allowed to start these quizzes unless I follow a link from D2L. So let's return to D2L. I've moved on to Module 2, where I have a link to Quiz 2, and let me follow that one. So now I'm in the second quiz, which I faked this. It's just a copy of the first quiz. And if I use the breadcrumb navigation to return to higher up, now I've got these two quizzes active, but I'm locked out of the ones from the future. So this is important because you could use Desire to Learn to manage access to these quiz links. You could deny the student access to even click on the link to Quiz 3 until they've met some conditions or enough time has passed. What's happening in grades? So far I only submitted one time for Quiz 1, and that submission is what led to this score of 4 out of 100 for that first quiz. If I were to submit for Quiz 2, then we'd see a WeBWorK Quiz 2 column appear here, and so on down the line, and that grade passback will be automatic. So next, we're going to move into how this was possible. In the WeBWorK assessment course, I'm going to go to this tab here where I'm logged in as an administrator. In order to make this happen in the assessment course, in the file manager, navigate up one level, and there's a course configuration file. If you edit that, you can set this option right here. If you open your course config file, there won't be any of this content there, but you can add this LTI grade mode equals homework, and that's what tells WeBWorK to send scores one at a time for the first quiz, for the second quiz, and so on back to D2L. Back in D2L, recall that in the external learning tools area, did have to do this bit of tedium where every quiz gets its own external learning tool link, and then later in the content area you use that external learning tool link. I only am doing this for the quizzes, not for the regular homework sets, because it would be even more tedium to create one of these for each homework set, and I don't feel that it's necessary. With regular homework, I just will be providing links to students, either through the top nav bar or in the content area. There might be a link to remind students to do their WeBWorK homework. And when you follow this link, you're taken to my non-assessment course, where there will be homework sets and students can just work on them in a normal way. If you have any questions about the details of this particular setup, or if you have questions about some alternative spin on this setup, then please don't hesitate to send me a question. Here are some things that I forgot to mention. To request a second course, simply do that in the normal way, contacting your campus's WeBWorK administrator. If you would like, we can set up a link from one of your courses to the other. So for example, I have my homework course and I want to build the quizzes by trimming the homework sets. And so what I do in the homework course, export the homework set, and I'd rather not download that and then upload it into the other course. So I have a link in my quiz course that gives me access to the files in the homework course. That's something that can only be set up by the WeBWorK administrator. One big pitfall you can fall into is if a student has already been created in the WeBWorK course and then you create an assignment, it's not assigned to them automatically. You need to explicitly assign that new quiz to all of the students in the class using WeBWorK tools. Otherwise, they'll follow the link in D2L and it won't take them anywhere. They'll get an error message. And lastly, if you move this setup from one term to the next, remember we had multiple external learning tool links in D2L. Well, in the new D2L shell, if you copy that from a previous D2L shell, those links are still pointing to your old WeBWorK course. So each and every one of them needs to be updated. If you forget to do this, then spring students will be temporarily entering their winter WeBWorK course, and that could cause some headache for you